And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Satellite imagery for today showing next patch of moisture here, bringing some rain into the central Aleutians, extending back to the north-northwest there into the main low center. Break here along the southwest coast. Some more clouds up through the Bering Strait, and variable clouds with areas of clearing over the interior. A little more enhanced area clouds here, actually from the Talkeetnas, Chugach Mountains, east-northeast across Copper River Basin to Northway and on into Dawson. And some passing clouds for the Arctic coast and areas of the North Slope. Also for the southeast coast here, an area of moisture, as you can see, moving northwest with a band of rain coming northwest in that flow on the north side of a big storm here, well south of the Queen Charlotte Islands, bringing some occasional moderate rain to the southern panhandle today with lighter amounts up to the north. And rolling this through again, we'll see that the main front now coming onto the chart here, but still way down to the south. But eventually that whole low center will be pulling northward right off the southeast coast over the next couple of days and slowly weakening. On the chart today, there's that trough with that first band of rain coming into the southeast coast. Otherwise, very light winds. Kodiak Island all the way up to the Arctic coast, out into the Bering Sea. A few isolated scattered showers here along the southwest coast and areas of clearing over the interior. Isolated showers possible here over the mountainous terrain, the Kenai Peninsula on up to the Talkeetnas, and also eastern Alaska Range, Copper River Basin, some mountain showers going on there, but nothing very significant. And this front bringing some light rain into the central Aleutians, about to move into the Pribilofs, and some shower activity along the southwest coast, as I mentioned. For tonight, that system will bring rain into St. Paul and St. George Island, as well as the eastern Aleutians, and spread it in toward the Alaska Peninsula, at least the western Alaska Peninsula, late tonight. Otherwise, this weak thing along the southwest coast keeps a risk of a shower or two going from Kuskokwim Bay, Nunivak Island, right up into western Norton Sound, possibly reaching the southern coast of the Seward Peninsula, maybe. Otherwise, that's about all that's going on around interior Alaska, other than some clouds, clearing, and very light wind conditions. Now, this big storm coming onto the picture here, 961 millibars in the front, approaching the Queen Charlotte Islands, but drying out. This original trough kind of slips back down to the southwest there in that northeast flow here on the northeast or the northwest quadrant of that system. But some more rain beginning to cross Dixon Entrance late tonight and into tomorrow, but basically looks dry for the southeast coast for tomorrow, with a chance of some rain or showers right along the coastline there. This front staying south of the Queen Charlotte. It's low starting to weaken now and really not moving too fast to the north. No change over the interior, variably cloudy with very light winds from the Kenai Peninsula, risk of a shower Kodiak Island. Still a risk of some moisture here along the southwest coast, right up into, well, not quite the Bering Strait, and then this area up here farther into the Chukchi Sea there. And this system weakening, moving to the Alaska Peninsula, keeping it occasionally wet there and unsettled with light winds everywhere across all of the forecast areas here of the Alaska zones. And moving on to Tuesday, weak system comes into the western Bering Sea here with most of the wind conditions and rain staying north of the Aleutians, although a weak trailing front there, weak front, not the trailing edge, but a weak front may bring some light rain across Yumianatu, but not quite making it to Adak and Atka with high pressure here. Look for maybe some sunshine from Adak eastward into the Alaska Peninsula, possibly the Pribilofs as well. Excuse me. And some shower activity from the Yukon Delta. Very, just a risk again, quite light, whatever does occur there all the way to the western Arctic coast. And partly to mostly sunny to areas of cloudy to mostly cloudy skies over interior Alaska. Northwest flow should keep it mostly clear over Kodiak Island, so some good sunshine there and hopefully into south central Alaska as well. And then this low now tracking northward just west of the Queen Charlottes by Tuesday afternoon, and that'll make for wet conditions, especially southern southeast, southern central and southern southeast coast. This will continue to track north-northwestward right along the coastline there and slowly weaken into Wednesday night, and probably early Thursday. Otherwise, lows tonight in the 40s down there across the Panhandle. Teens and 20s up over the northeast interior, except milder along the Arctic coast, mid-20s near 30. And in the 20s, right on down into the Copper River Basin, 30s south of the mountains near 40 Kodiak Island, Homer, Seward, and Valdez. Lower 40s along the southwest coast, 40s for the Aleutians. And highs tomorrow, 50 to 55, Bristol Bay, near 50 over the Kuskokwim Valley and Delta there, and as well as the Yukon Delta, upper 40s, 40s central interior, 30s from the Brooks Range to the Arctic coast, 55 to 62 for the southeast coast, and mid-50s for the central Aleutians. Lows the following morning in the 20s to lower 30s over the central interior, teens to lower 20s for the Brooks Range and North Slope, and 20s to lower 30s for the Arctic coast, 40s for the southeast coast, and that'll be followed by highs. Tuesday afternoon, edging up a little there, upper 50s to maybe mid-60s for the Panhandle, otherwise lower 50s south central Alaska, near 50 Copper River Basin, in the 40s in the central interior to St. Lawrence Island, a little chilly there at Savunga with high near 40, and 30s for the Arctic coast Brooks Range area, 50s for the most part out in the Aleutians.